right, we got a movie bracket fight. Harry Potter characters. I'm Nate. This is Cinetopical. You probably knew that. You clicked on the video. First up, we got Dumbledore versus Filch. I feel like this one's pretty easy. This is definitely like a 1 seed versus a really, really, really low seed. It's Dumbledore. Filch, he's a squib. Doesn't have a lot of character development. He's just kind of there to be a foil. So if this will work. Dang. I'm about to forget this fucking spider's name. Aragog, I think, versus Mad-Eye Moody. Again, this is just a big spider. It is there for one singular purpose, a very important purpose. But Moody is Moody. He's stoic. He's cool. For a brief amount of, for an entire movie, he's Barty Crouch Jr. But it's Mad-Eye. He's like one of the most famous Aurors ever. All right, we got Mr. Weasley versus Buckbeak. These are really interesting that they included some of the creatures on this, because I don't know that they're necessarily all what I would consider a character, but Mr. Weasley, his main point in the film is like to take them to the Quidditch World Cup and to get attacked in the Ministry of Magic. He doesn't really quite have his moment like Molly does. So I'm actually going to take Buckbeak because hippogriffs are cool as shit, and Buckbeak actually ends up being incredibly helpful. All right, Barty Crouch Jr. versus this guy's ugly mug. I'm taking Barty Crouch. He's really, really interesting. He managed to infiltrate Hogwarts. Surprising to me that, Dumbledore and all the other super talented teachers at Hogwarts couldn't see through that, but it is what it is. Next up, we got Cho Chang versus Bellatrix. I'm going to take this one for Strange Wang. He's in love with her. That's his future baby mama, Miss Helena Bonham Carter. She's also a much more interesting character. Cho Chang only really matters for like one movie, so. Alright, so we got Mad-Eye Movies' real-life son versus Colin. Pretty sure his name's Colin. I forget. I mean, this guy like freaking trains dragons and shit. This kid is just there to take pictures and almost get killed by a snake. So, my boy. Against this guy. This guy's also a schmuck. He doesn't want to believe that Homeboy's back, but he is back. So I gotta take Cedric. I mean, he, so sad. R.I.P. All right, Kingsley versus Dean. This one's pretty tough because neither of them are that important. But Kingsley's part of the Order of the Phoenix, and I like those people a lot. This guy just yells things about Quidditch matches, so I'm taking Kingsley. All right, Luna versus Lucius. Lucius is a bitch. He's spineless. He ain't shit. I can't stand him, which is his purpose as a character, is for us to not like him. But Luna's quirky. She's calm. She gets shit that other people don't. I'm all about some Luna. Taking her. McGonagall versus... I'm pretty sure that's Rita Skeeter. So that's another really easy one. I'm not even going into that. Just kidding. That's Rita Skeeter. I don't know who that other lady was. Either way, this one's still really easy. Molly, she's one of the few characters that gets to curse in the Harry Potter movies, and I really appreciate that. And she ultimately avenges my boy Sirius. Moaning Myrtle versus... This one is also tough, because, I mean, Moaning Myrtle versus freaking Mrs. Dursley. Petunia. Alright, first of all, your name's Petunia. Everybody knows this lady's a bitch. Her only one remote, like, character development thing is, I lost a sister. Which is like, yeah, but you've been a fucking dick to her kid the entire time. Like, now, nobody gives a shit now. Like, you're an ass. Myrtle is also really annoying. She's fucking thirsty as shit. But she actually comes in really handy during the Triwizard Tournament, so we'll give it to Myrtle. Alright, Tonks versus gardening teacher lady. Tonks is fucking dope. She can shapeshift. She's got cool hair. She's kind of hot. Taking that.
I love how you called another woman hot and your wife texted you.
Yeah, it's like she could sense it. Alright, Trelawney versus fucking Percy. Percy's also a bitch. I hate people that follow rules just to follow the rules and don't consider whether or not the rules should be rules or not. And Trelawney is just like fucking batshit crazy, but also like for a purpose. Alright, we got Vernon versus Lupin. Another super easy one. Lupin is like probably my second favorite character. And David Thewlis. I'm a big fan of that guy. Shit, I can't remember his name either. Luna's dad versus Crumb. Two characters that I still just don't really care a lot about. Luna's dad does actually come in, like, he's very important in his, like, one specific part of the plot, helping the kids understand the Deathly Hallows and all that good stuff. Crumb, he's just like love interest for Hermione, someone else to participate in the tournament, and is really good at Quidditch. So I'm gonna take Luna's dad. All right, so now we got Dumbledore versus Moody. Shit, this one's tough for me because I think Moody is way cooler, but Dumbledore's really smart. People give him a lot of shit. Yeah, he could have handled a lot of stuff better, but he's able to see a bigger picture and is able to set like so many underground things in motion that could have easily gotten fucked up. Like, he took some gambles, but they all ultimately paid off. So, gotta go Dumbledore. Buckbeak versus Barty Crouch Jr. Barty Crouch is like technically in a movie, but he's not because he's just being Mad Eye. And Buckbeak's way cooler, so taking Buckbeak. Alright, Miss Lestrange versus Bill. I gotta take Bellatrix. Like, we see her a lot more, obviously. She's really interesting. She adds this, like, very menacing flair to the overarching story. So, go with her. Cedric versus Kingsley. Taking Kingsley. Kingsley's a badass. Give me that guy. McGonagall versus Luna. Luna's dope. I will always love Luna, but Professor McGonagall has like some of the best lines in the movie. Has the coolest temperament of like, I'm going to be stern, I'm going to be hard, but I'm also like incredibly compassionate and smart and like give a shit about these kids. So they definitely could have picked a way better picture for McGonagall for this. Molly versus Moaning Myrtle. Give me Molly. Best mom ever. Tonks versus Trelawney. Gotta take Tonks. She's freaking badass. Lupin versus Mr. Lovegood. Give me Lupin. Alright, Dumbledore versus Buckbeak. I am equally surprised that Buckbeak made it this far into this, being that it is an animal. I would have almost rather seen that be on like a specific like creatures from Harry Potter list. Because it probably, like, Buckbeak and Thestrals, for me personally, probably would have made the final. But Dumbledore, is an actual person and is much more important to the whole story. Bellatrix versus Kingsley. Still taking Bellatrix. She's so interesting to me as a character. So, give me that. Kingsley he's just kind of there. Like, he's way more important in the books than the movies, but these are clearly the movie characters. So, all right, this one's tough because these are two of the baddest bitches around. But I still gotta take McGonagall. Like, she's so cool, and she always wanted to use that spell. Wow. Okay, that's ironic. This ended up happening. Because we got the two lovebirds here. I think I gotta take Lupin. We just get to spend more time with him. I think in real life, like, I would want to hang out with Tonks more just because she's, fucking... I mean, she's just cool as shit, man. And Lupin's cool, but I still gotta take him. It is what it is. Alright, Dumbledore versus Lestrange. Man, so here's my thing. I still have a whole other side of this bracket, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Alright, so I'm gonna base this purely on, like, which character... fuck it, I'm taking Dumbledore. Alright, McGonagall versus Lupin. Depending on what characters are on the other side, man, this is really tough. It gets hard when you get to those, like, semifinals. Shit. I think I gotta go McGonagall. I like her more. I just do. Can't help it. Alright, and determining who's going to the final, we got McGonagall versus Dumbledore, which, what an interesting matchup that is. This is clearly, like, a very personal thing. Dumbledore's really cool. He makes a lot of mistakes. Arguably the most important character in terms of moving the plot forward, outside of Harry, obviously. But McGonagall, she's just really cool. She's snarky. She's helpful. She is kind, but she still has that, like, I'm your teacher and you're going to listen to my shit thing going for her. I really don't want to, but I think I gotta go Dumble Snore.
Here at Sono Topical, we're unfortunately poor, and this money you see on screen, that's CGI. That's not real money, because again, we're poor. So if you want to click in the ad eye in the corner, that video is monetized, and we can make money off it, so please go watch it.
And if you click an ad, we make more money. And if you really want to help, there's the thanks button right there below this video. Alright, next side. Wow, okay. This is tough because Dudley, he's a bully. He's a dick, right? Draco, they really want you to feel sorry for Draco. I've never felt sorry for Draco. Like, he made his choices, right? Both of them are products of their upbringing, but Draco, like, his dad was essentially not a Death Eater during his upbringing, right? He either thought or at least convinced himself that Voldemort was gone. He didn't have to do that shit anymore, but he still chose to be this elitist, racist piece of shit. And Draco grew up in school at a young age around a bunch of other people who were not like that. So he had other influences on his life where he could have chosen to be a different person. Dudley is just 100% a product of his upbringing, as far as we know, right? So I actually feel more sorry for Dudley being raised the way that he was than I do for Draco, who I do not feel bad for at all. And I, like, honestly don't even like that he got his, like, little redemption thing in the end. I like his mom and what she did, but I'm taking Dudley. Fuck Draco. Alright, Floor versus arguably the most evil character in the entire franchise. yeah, if I'm basing this off of like who I like and who I don't like, the answer is obviously Floor, but she's really barely there. And Umbridge just adds so much more to the story that they could create a character that would just cause so much rage and hatred towards a singular person is just really good storytelling and character invention. So I'm going to take Umbridge. The fat lady versus either George or Fred. I don't know. They're twins. She opens a door, and that's about it. So we'll take the twin. All right, we got the other twin. Still don't know which one it is. Versus this ugly dude. So I just want to. We're going to generate a twin versus twin thing here, possibly. And it's going to be funny because I'm not going to know which one's which. I can't remember if this is Crabbe or Goyle, but versus Gilderoy Lockhart. I can't stand that guy. I don't like him either, but whatever. They're both going to get... either one of them would get eliminated in the next round. All right, Jenny versus Slughorn. Slughorn is a really, in my opinion, underrated character. He's so interesting to me. But Jenny's Jenny. She's badass. Little Molly. Harry's dad versus Hermione. Let's be real. Harry's dad was an asshole. Like, he really was. I don't really see much defense for James not really just kind of being a dick. And Hermione is Hermione. So, all right. Harry versus Ollivander. I almost just want to create controversy and just snag Ollivander here, but I mean, it is a guy who shows up in the first movie and then shows up again in the 6th or 7th movie versus the guy who the entire story is about. So, All right, so we got Mom versus Hagrid's future baby mama. I don't know. Either one of them is going to get knocked out in the next round, so we're going to go Mom. All right, Voldemort versus Madame Hooch. Strange Wang does not know a lot about Harry Potter, so I'm sure the name Hooch probably cracked him up a little bit. I'm going to give the nod to Voldemort. Way more important character. Ralph Fiennes knocked it out of the park playing this guy. So, yeah. All right, Neville versus Nearly Headless Nick. Some of the characters they chose for this are really astounding to me. Nick gets, like, way more of a story in the books, and it's actually a pretty cool story with the whole headless hunt and all that. But Neville is actually arguably the chosen one. I'm not going to dive into that theory very well, but you should look like on this video, but you should look it up because I really enjoy that theory. So give it to my boy with the biggest glow up. Narcissa versus Pettigrew. This dude looks like a fucking rat. I can't stand him. There's a guy that used to come in a restaurant that we work at who looks exactly like this guy. And I really like this lady a lot. So, all right, Quirrell, who's a bitch and is in one movie, versus Sirius Black, my man, my absolute favorite character, the coolest dude. He's suave, he's rebellious, he's ready to take action. It's definitely gonna be Sirius. Bill Nighy. I can't remember his name. He becomes the Minister of Magic. He reads Dumbledore's will. Versus Hagrid. Hagrid's just a nice-ass dude, man. I love Hagrid. Who doesn't love Hagrid? Snape versus Quidditch boy. Snape. Snape actually has some solid character development. He's a really interesting character. Got the whole double agent thing going on. And, always. All right, Ron versus I can't either Crabbe or Goyle. I always forget. I don't like Ron that much. He gets on my nerves a lot. but I mean, he's got way more going on than this guy. All right, Umbridge versus Dudley. All right, Dudley, you made it past the first round. You're still a bitch. Fuck you. This lady incites so much actual emotion and feeling in me, even though it is all negative, but she still does it. So, all right, Fred or George versus Fred or George. I like this picture better than I like this picture, so moving forward, this guy counts as both of the twins. And then the other Crabbe or Goyle versus Ginny. Super easy. These guys are schmucks. Give me Ginny. Hermione versus Harry. All right. This was really tough because Harry Potter is obviously the titular character of this franchise. He's the boy who lived. But damn it, Harry doesn't do shit. Like, he really barely does anything. Most of the progress that Harry makes through the movies are either because of something that Dumbledore gave him or something that Hermione told him. So, controversial as shit, but get that ugly ass boy out of here under that cupboard. I'm taking Hermione. Voldemort versus Harry's mom. Give me Voldemort. I like that guy. Narcissa versus Neville. Give me Neville. Everybody likes Neville. Hagrid versus Sirius. This one actually hurts my feelings a little bit because I do love Hagrid a lot. He is like just one of the most consistently steady and kind and helpful characters in this whole franchise. But Sirius is my boy, so I'm taking him. Snape versus Ron. As I said before, I don't really like Ron that much. He's there for some comedic relief. Harry needed a best friend, so they gave him one. Snape is so much more interesting of a character. Umbridge versus Fred and George. I'm going to take Fred and George just because they fucked her shit up during that test with their freaking fireworks and shit, and that was badass. So, Ginny versus Hermione. We just don't really get much Ginny, you know? So, I gotta take Hermione. Neville versus Voldemort. Take my boy Neville. He fucking sliced this dude's snake's fucking head off, and that was dope. And I like that. Sirius versus Snape, which is, you know, basically what a real life matchup. So, Snape, fuck your simp ass. Like, doing all this shit because you're still in love with a dead lady who never reciprocated your feelings. Like, you gotta let shit go. Sirius is still the coolest freaking character in this universe. Taking him. The twins versus Hermione. The twins are fun. I like them. They're great. But, I mean, Hermione's Hermione. Sirius versus Neville. Alright, the potential chosen one versus, again, the baddest motherfucker in this shit. Give me Sirius. Sirius versus Hermione. I just said it. You already know. And then finally, in the final, we got Dumbledore, the headmaster, the puppeteer, really, almost, if you will, versus Sirius, who is still cool as shit. Gary Oldman knocked it out of the park. Dumbledore, I really appreciate him. He got the job done. He did what he needed to do. Killing off Sirius as early as they did is the biggest mistake in my biggest criticism of this whole story. But I'm never gonna pick anybody over Sirius. You probably could have guessed that as we went through the bracket. But let me know what you thought down in the comment section below. Are you mad at me for knocking Harry off in the second round? If you are, yell at me. I don't care. Do something. Like, comment, and subscribe.
It's not a game, it's a rich thing.